Thanks very much for staying with us here on Newsdesk. Now, 9 civil society organizations have dragged government to the Supreme Court, describing President Akufo-Addo's decision to order the Auditor General, Daniel Domelevo, to proceed on leave as fatally misplaced. Now, this is the second case to be filed at the Apex Court, challenging the decision that will see Mr. Domelevo stay away from work for 167 days. His deputy has since been named as acting Auditor General. Court correspondent Joseph Akable joins me via Zoom with more on this. Joseph, first tell us about the CSOs involved in this action and the arguments that you're making against the president's directive.
Center for Democratic Development, CDD. There's also the Ghana Integrity Initiative, the Citizen Ghana Movement, the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Parliamentary Network Africa, among others. And so these are the main groups that have come together, contracting the services of a private legal practitioner, Martin, able to put together 90 pages of legal arguments. And the core point they put across is that the presidency had argued that as the appointing authority, he had a mandate to ask the Auditor General to proceed on leave. In the documents, they describe the Auditor General as an independent constitutional institution set up by the Constitution, and they say that for such independence to be assured, it cannot be subject to such control from the presidency. And so they are urging the Supreme Court to rule in their favor and hold that the directive from the presidency is unconstitutional, it's void and of no effect. They also want the said directive that appointed Johnson Ekwame as acting Auditor General to also receive the same declaration, and the net effect will be that Mr. Domelevo returns from this leave, which they say is unconstitutional.
So those are the 3 major reliefs they're seeking from the Apex Court. Joseph, I'm wondering how different this is from the first case, because we know that there's been a case that has been taken to the Supreme Court on this very subject. How is this different?
In fact, that case was filed by a CDD fellow in public law and justice, Professor Stephen Kweku Asare. In terms of the demands he's making, it's the same demands they are making. The only difference by way of comparison is the fact that this is an enhanced document. It's a bulky document, has tons of research that even goes a step further to even look at how Auditor Generals are treated in other jurisdictions and rest on that to make the comparison, to make the case that indeed it's an independent institution. It also relies on a litany of cases that the Supreme Court have ruled on recently, including that one involving Occupy Ghana, where it's reaffirmed the fact that the Auditor General has the power to issue surcharges. And in that particular decision, Justice Gotti had made reference to the fact that the Auditor General was an independent institution, not subject to the control of any agency or any individual. And so those are by way of, in terms of if you compare it to the case that was filed by Professor Stephen Asare, but they both make the same case that the directive from the presidency is unconstitutional, and they are asking that the court sets that directive aside.
When you look at the Professor Stephen Asare case, there was an aspect of it which was the injunction I think he was seeking. That was not granted. Post that, what has happened? Where are we at that as far as that case is concerned?
In fact, after that injunction issue that was not granted by the Supreme Court, the court proceeded on a vacation, and it resumed just about 2 weeks ago. And I've been tracking the process in terms of the hearing notice, and as we speak now, a hearing notice has not been issued for that particular case yet. It's not part of the cases slated at the Supreme Court this week, but the expectation is that it will come up soon. And Professor Asare has also been making a point that he expects the Supreme Court to, as a matter of urgency, deal with it. In fact, he had preferred that it would have been dealt with before they even proceeded on the vacation, but unfortunately that was not done, and he hopes that a hearing notice will be issued shortly.
And in all of these cases, I know you're not a lawyer, but with your experience in reporting from the court, do we have the Auditor General joined to this case, or this is just between the civil society groups and the state?
In fact, with regards to the initial one that Professor Asare filed, initially he named the Auditor General as a defendant in this particular one. This particular one goes directly with it has just the Attorney General, who is government's principal legal advisor, named as the defendant in this particular action. And so in terms of Professor Asare one, subsequently the court took the view that the action should be targeted at the Attorney General, since it was a governmental decision, and the Auditor General, and in fact he had named initially the Auditor General and the acting Auditor General as defendants, but the court took the view that those are individuals who are beneficiaries of the actions or victims of the actions, and they've not conducted themselves in any manner that should be a subject of litigation. So for this particular way that has been filed, it's between the 9 CSOs and the Attorney General's office.
Thank you very much. That's court correspondent Joseph Akable bringing us details of this new case that has been filed by 9 civil society organizations to the apex courts. They are asking the courts to declare the president's directive for the Auditor General, Daniel Domelova, to proceed on leave as unconstitutional. We're joined by the Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Linda Ofori-Kwafo. Thank you very much, madam, for your time here on Newsdesk. I'm wondering, yes, we had you make the point very strongly when this issue came up in the discourse. But then we already know that there's a matter in court sent by Professor Stephen Asari. Why did you not opt for the option of joining that case instead?
Thank you very much. I am sure Professor Asari is an individual and has the right to go to court at any point. And also the 9 of our civil society organizations working on matters bordering on accountability, transparency, integrity, and all those also think that we have a right to go to court. And that is what we have done. We actually mentioned earlier that we are going to do so. If you remember rightly, when this matter came up, we held a big press conference in the country, and we're hoping that the president will rescind his decision. That didn't happen. The next step, obviously, was for us to take a decision on what to do next, and we decided to go to court and seek some interpretation so far as the matter is concerned.
As civil society, one thing that you do a lot is to engage. I'm wondering what your engagement with the presidency and with the people that matter as far as this issue is concerned, what that has been, and if the outcome of that engagement is what has led you to court now.
We didn't get an opportunity to have a direct engagement, as in having being invited to the Flagstaff House and have a meeting directly with the president. But what happened was for us to organize a press conference. Then I think the president then was off for some time because of COVID-19 related issues. And then when he came back, he responded and said that he thinks the decision the government has taken is in the interest of the country and they were not going to rescind. But then also with our belief that we have some challenges to the decision that have been taken, we decided to go to court to seek interpretation. First and foremost, very important for us to state clearly that we are not doing this because of a particular individual. We are doing this to ensure that even now and in the future, independent state organizations will not have some sort of interference as far as their work is concerned. We need them to have the Electoral Commission, we have the SHRAC, we have many of them, OSP and all those, they are independent state organizations. When such interference starts coming, and we believe that it is not in line with what the Constitution provides, then obviously if we don't take any action, in future, we have ourselves to be blamed. So then we have a court that is ready to listen to our case because we think we have a good case. We have gone to court, and we have good lawyers who take this matter up at the right time.
Thank you very much. That's the Executive Director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Madam Linda Kwafo, joining us on the back of a case that they have submitted with 8 other civil society groups to the Apex Court as far as the directive by the President for the Auditor General, Daniel Domelova, to proceed on leave. We'll see how that pans out in court. Court correspondent Joseph Akable will be there to monitor proceedings and bring us up to speed on that.